In this video, we're just going to pause the course for a couple of minutes. And we're just going to consider where we've been so far and where we're going. So we can just start to put these different ideas that we've covered together into a unified whole. So far, the things we've covered, we've looked at the idea of a digital problem, that it's an open-ended problem, that there's no fixed or definitive solution to that problem. And we thought about computational thinking, how it's got those four aspects. It's got decomposition, abstraction, algorithms, and pattern recognition. And we went from there and we looked at this edge problem-solving model, which was explore, develop, generate, and evaluate. From that, we looked at impacts and then human wants and needs. So we've got all these different ideas floating around in our head. So really we want to know what's the big picture at this point in time. So let's just draw a little diagram to show how these ideas connect, and then we'll show the next steps. So what we began with was the idea of a problem, where we've got these problems that people have that we need to identify that need to be solved. And after we looked at problems, we looked at the types of thinking that you could use to solve problems. So you've got problems and how you might solve them. And then we looked at these things called impacts. So we had problems and how you might solve them. And then the outcome of solving these problems. And then we kind of went backwards a little bit. And we said the outcome of solving these problems, well, that outcome exists because we're actually solving or fulfilling some type of human need or want. Okay? And the way we got the human need or want is we actually went backwards again, back to a problem, and we abstracted away the problem. We thought about it and we pulled it apart and we said, what are the big things going on? What's really happening here? So we're in this section at the moment where we really, when we go through this in reality, we would start with a problem. And then we're going to use some type of computational thinking strategies, amongst other thinking strategies, to develop some type of human needs and wants. And from that, we're going to be able to work out the impacts of solving this problem. Now, all these steps, they actually fit under that explore phase of the edge problem-solving model. So we haven't actually touched on the develop, generate, or evaluate stages yet. So where are we going next? Well, when we break down a problem, we actually don't just consider the human needs and wants. We pull it apart a bit further, and that's what we're going to do next. So in our next step, we're going to take those problems and we're going to pull them apart, and we're going to work out the features of those problems. What type of things exist within it that need to be solved individually. So we're going to do some type of decomposition process to pull the problem apart into smaller things that need to be solved. And those small things, when we solve them, will actually create a full system. And then what we're going to do after that is we're actually going to go right back to the beginning. And we're going to go back to problems. And we are going to pick up a problem and we're going to run with it. We're going to start very much with a simple problem, much as you would have for an assignment. And we're going to develop our users. We're going to work out in detail what they need and want. We're going to work out our impacts. And then we're going to do all the other steps to go from the beginning problem all the way up towards a final and completed technical proposal. So that's where we've been, and that's where we are going over the next little while.